Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing great. Welcome to a new collaboration with Wondering Dreamer 555 and myself. And the collaboration name is Use It or Snooze It. We have decided to use our Unity Stamp Company kits, the kit of the month, which you've seen me use before, and you've seen, if you subscribe to both our channels, you've seen her do her unbagging, unboxings, and show you a few. So what we've decided to do is pick one of our favorite stamps from the kit and one of our least favorite stamps and make two cards. So a use it stamp and a snooze it stamp. If you watched the previous video, I did a unboxing or what I got in the mail from the kit, and it looks like this. I normally don't take mine apart, as I stated before. And so what I want to say is, this looks funky right here. But the snooze and use, I think that I'm going to snooze these little leaf things. I don't really like how they look. And I want to use this dress. So we're going to use this dress, and this is going to be called, we're going to use this sentiment: never, no matter how you feel, get up, dress up, and never give up. And I have an idea for what we're going to do with it. Now, the snooze it, I don't know because. I yeah, I just don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull these out and let's get ready to make two cards. Okay, so for the first card, we're going to use the use it. And what I think, we're going to do the exact same concept for both cards, so it should be very interesting to see how biased I am for the one I like. Okay, so this is the first impression that I did, and I used picked raspberry because I'm going to make a background, and so this is the first generation. You will get some glare, so I do apologize for that. So I'm just going to show you the first one, and then I'll come back once everything is done. So that is the second generation, and I'm just going to re-ink it. If you watched any of my previous videos, then you know the process. I'm going to be using picked raspberry, mermaid lagoon, and cracked pistachio to create the background for this image. All right, so we stamped out our dress, and I'm just coloring it, and I'm not sure if you remember Leave It to Beaver, but this just makes me think of June. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. The silhouette of the dress is flared out at the bottom, and a lot of those television shows, the moms dressed like this. The moms were always pretty well kept. You know, I remember watching someone talk about what Better Homes and Garden would publish in like the 1950s about how you should have your house and things like that. It was like basically dress up, make sure you don't harass your spouse when they come home, and the kids need to be nice and mannerable sitting around on the floor. Like, oh, daddy, you're home. Yay. And I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate your spouse coming home. What I'm saying is that's a bit much. I'm wondering what Wonder Dreamer 555 thinks is her or feels is her like favorite. It's a few stamps on there that I do think are really cool. But I like dresses, right? You could take this any kind of way. You could put this on a little podium, not a podium, a dress form, and make it a sewing thing. But I want to try to use the sentiment that came with it, and I think that's really cool. So I'm not sure what she's going to use with her snooze it, but I have an idea for the snooze it. I just need to make sure I have. And plus, we're doing the same exact technique, only we're going to make that card smaller. This is going to be a 5x7 card, hopefully. If not, we can definitely cut it down to be a 4 1/4 by 5.5 card, an A2 size card. And this cuts out really nicely. I know that they are starting to dabble, they being Unity Stamp Company, is starting to dabble in some dies and some images, but I don't need a die cutting machine. I mean, I don't need a die to cut out some of my stamps. Some of the stamps are maybe a little bit more intricate, and of course, you would need something to assist you. Anything that's going to make your crafting life a lot easier, go for it. All right, so this is our background. This blue is so prominent, and I just decided to go a little bit on the wild side. So I love this pick pistachio more than the other colors. I like these two the best, and this pink is not really giving me the happiness that I thought I was going to get. So what we're going to do now is going to cut it down. I actually may make this into a 5.5 by, A2 size card. So let me cut it and see. Okay, so I cut our layer down to 4 3/4 by 5, no, 6.5. So this is going to be our top piece. I did take a piece of cardstock from a paper pad from Michael's Hot Buy. This piece right here, and it's called Soho Boutique. And I thought this would be really cute to go behind it. So we're gonna try to put this up in this yellow right here. It looks like we need to cut this down some. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down to 5 by 7. Excuse me, 4 1/4 by 5.5. So it's cut down, and I think I'm just going to um, do a little bit of edge dressing, just a bit. If you can tell, I cut a lot of the pink down. It was so prominent in the project that I just went ahead and cut it down. So we're just going to do this around the edges. I normally have been skipping doing this because a lot of stuff, right? But I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then we'll put the card together. All right, so the one thing I love about red rubber is I inked this thing up one time, stamped it, and it came through super neat, super clean. And I think we're gonna try, you know, we'll keep this one. I want to put the image, I want to put the sentiment right on the card. I know I'm reverting back to how I first started, but I want to do it. So let's see. I just want to put it right here in the corner because I feel like, yeah, I just want to put it right here in the corner. And if it had messed up, we would have to start all over again, right? Because at this point, it's not just paper. So we have our project, and here we are. Yes, I didn't want it to be directly in the center. I wanted it to be a little bit off. So let's glue this down. We're gonna glue this down first. And so I cut this to be, I want to say this is 4 by 5 1/4. Let's just make sure. My old school 25-cent ruler that I got a couple of years ago when I thought that I was going to be teaching crafts, like at a location. I went and did a little bit of purchasing of things, and then I decided, no, this is really what you want. And at this point, I'm saying I don't know if this is really what I want or not. I know I want to teach. I cannot teach little kids. The little roommate has definitely showed me that I'm not built for that. So we're just gonna rub this on a little bit, but you never know. Maybe I can teach, and I don't even want to say teach, but hang out and have fun and create with people a little bit more my age. Because I did teach a class before, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this. But it was fun. The class was fun. Needless to say, it was just not very amazing. It's not the experience that I thought we were gonna have as I went forward and tried to be somebody. All right, so we're gonna turn this over and we're gonna burnish this down here, just like that. We're gonna do the same thing. Just make sure this opens. Yep, there's nothing on the inside. If you put your glue or whatever adhesive you're using well enough, it should ooze out to the edges. If not, I just go back in and do a little bit of light treatment with the fine tip glue. So we got this. Yes. It should cover up the entire card front. Okay. So as you can see, like right here is a little bit on the lift side. And I'm just going to put some glue right here. Not a bunch, but enough to make it stick. And with Distress ink, you know, it's water reactive, or at least the ones I have. I'm not sure if they've updated the formula, but I don't think they have. It's water reactive, so you don't want the wet glue to get on there, and then you get a smudge, and it just does not look right. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press this down, get my foam tape, put on the back of the dress, and then we'll work on our next project, our next card, the Snooze It. The funny thing is, this looks good just like that, in my opinion. But we're going to put this yellow dress right here because, and then we're going to put a few gems. I really like that just like that. Sometimes you can create backgrounds and just sentiments and it looks great. But we're going to go ahead and add this yellow dress to it. Maybe if I had put the blue dress down, it would look good. And we're going to put this slightly off as well, not in the center. And a few gems. All right, so I think what we're going to do is just go back to old school block paper and stamp. And I want to use this weathered wood first. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the same technique that we did previously. And if you're wondering why I decided to go with just this, it's going to be a little bit easier for me to control the process of, yeah, okay. And we'll see if this cream holds up. I always think that when you do, because this is a sympathy card, but I always really feel like whenever you see sympathy cards at the store, they're always kind of like, they're not bold and bright and vibrant colors. They're more like subdued or solemn colors. But unfortunately, when people leave us, we should be happy. And I say unfortunately because that's not the sentiment that I have ever felt when someone has left my life and I'm not able to see them anymore. I'm not talking about like a falling out with your friend and you decide to part ways. I mean like they're gone, and you can't explain it. You know, you can't explain how, why, when, how you want them back in your life and things like that. So it's always sad, even though people say, you know, they didn't want us to cry. They want us to be happy and celebrate. And you're like, how could I celebrate my friends, my loved ones leaving, their passing? It's hard to do, but you have to move forward and you have to stay strong. Unfortunately, another unfortunate thing, right? You stay strong for those that may not be strong enough to stay strong for themselves. But sometimes you never know, right? The person that you're trying to stay strong for ends up being stronger than you thought they were, which happens a lot in life. Sometimes we underestimate the people that we think are um, that we try to protect and shield. Sometimes they end up protecting and shielding us, or just saying things that you wouldn't expect for them to say. Yeah, I definitely don't care much for this little stamp, but I'm thinking it probably would go good as a background stamp with this other, the big flower bush. But the rules, the agreement was things that you like, and then something that you like. Why would I ever use that? Is it? So I don't want to combine something that I like with something I don't like right now. But I think what I want to try to do is do more of the using of these things, but we'll see. Because I definitely think that this goes better. Not even better, but I think it would look good in the background of this, like a little prickly bush or something. But we're not doing a prickly bush. Okay, so we've used weathered wood. And now we're going to use some old paper, and we're going to just give the old paper a first generation look. First, we're going to stamp off and see how it looks. And then if it looks how I want it to look, yeah, so we'll go back in and just ink it up again and stamp it. Do you have a subscription that you're like, what were they thinking when they put this thing together? I know that I've seen a lot of people show some of their subscriptions. They're like, look at this. This is amazing. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what are you going to do with that? How is that going to look? Yeah. I'm not sure. And I don't even feel like I took this off. I feel like this is the same thing as that one. It does have a cute little heart on here somewhere. So if you like peek through it, you can see right here it's a heart. Again, background stamping is pretty fun to do when you have stamps that you're like really intrigued by, and then when you have stamps that you're kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes they don't always come out, but I'm liking the look of this. It looks more spooky, so I guess I could use this as a Halloween stamp, and at the end I could put, I don't know, something on the bottom of them. Yeah. So we're going to do the same exact process that we did. We're going to stamp right on the paper, and I think we're going to call it a card. And I like how it looks. I don't like the stamp per se. Yeah, but I like the card. And we're going to just leave it just like this, and we're not going to dress it up. We're not going to do any extra things to it. I don't think you really want to make a fancy card that says, "Look at me," and I'm putting my heart is with you in the time of sorrow. You know, like jewels and gems and all that things. But I could be wrong. And I'm going to make it right here. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's talk about this right here. This is a Christmas prefabricated card, and it says "Man Bright." I thought this would be really pretty with this. So we're just going to turn this green into our background, and no one will ever know that it was supposed to be a Christmas card. It is now a card of, if you need me, call me. So I'm just going to put this down. And the good thing about the card is that I didn't have to cut, fold, snip, or get another piece of paper or anything like that. So if you have prefabricated cards and they're just sitting there, you're like, I'm going to go ahead and throw these in the trash. Pull them out and use them. You don't have to worry about making card bases. You just need to make a card to go on top of the base, your layer pieces. And look at that. I love it. I actually like this finished project a lot. So I could see myself attempting to do this in a happier setting. We're just going to burnish this down some, a lot. And I think we're done. Wow. That was fun. Okay, so we used the June 2022 Unity Stamp Company My Heart is With You kit to create two cards, two opposite minded cards with the same exact process. One was a use it and another was a snooze it. Now that I've made the cards, I am happy with the snooze it as well as the use it. Would I use this a lot in my projects? I don't know. I would have to say it would be something like this because these do look like trees, so I could put a tree on the side and do something with that. But I do like maybe it's the color combination. I don't know. It's a decent sympathy card, right? And it doesn't have to be. It could be your dog. It doesn't have to be a blood relative or a friend. It could be your pet because pets are very important to us. it could be the loss of something else that someone's grieving over. And then we have this card right here, and I think this is also a sentiment that tells you, hey, don't stop, keep trying, it could get better, right? So it says, no matter how you feel, get up, get dressed, and never give up. Getting up and showing up is usually all it takes for you to get in motion. So I want to say, please click on the description box, check out what Wandering Dreamer 555 has created. And I want to say thank you for watching, and until next time, happy crafting.